it's going to detour. That when you say a joke, for a joke to really connect, it's got to detour through your heart and through your soul. Mm-hmm. The cocaine detaches that soul and heart. That's why you feel mechanical.
Yeah.
That's why you feel very mechanical. You know, it's bad enough. You ever do 3 shows in a night?
Oh, yeah.
The old school improv, 7, 9, 11, or 12, Midnight Madness or whatever. By the time you did Midnight Madness, you didn't even know what jokes you were saying.
Yeah.
Because you're like, did I say this already? Didn't I say this already? You felt disconnected. When you got off stage, you would always say, I'm not doing that fucking midnight joke anymore and then midnight show anymore. Yeah. Because it's too much on you and you're disconnected because you just did 2 shows and you don't know what the fuck you said on both shows, what order. Now the 3rd show, you're sitting there going, I said that already. No, that was the 3rd. No, I said that the 2nd show. Fuck it. I'm not doing this show no more. Well, that's the same way it was with cocaine with me.
Oh, yeah.
But for a joke to work, they got to feel it through your emotion. You have to become vulnerable. It's got to go through your soul, your heart, and then your mouth, your brain. When the cocaine's in there, it don't hit your soul or your heart. You just become a fucking person who writes great jokes and just says them like a computer.
Yeah,
that's
a great way to explain it, man. Yeah,
that's the way it felt for me. That's why I used to get pissed off when people would say shit about Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, he's a great football player. He's on coke half the time. Let me tell you something. When I went to prison, I would do a line on speed on Monday nights and play basketball. Oh my God, I was horrible. My heart would be beating out of my chest. I couldn't focus. So I think people were wrong about Lawrence Taylor. But years later, he did say he did it and went on the field and blah, blah, blah. So who the fuck knows? How's your life now in Nashville, visiting, going back and forth between California?
Man. Yeah, I mean, I came over here to spend time in Nashville because you know, I'm going to say this about cocaine too, because since we were just talking about it, because you had me thinking about it. That's a great way to explain it, man. Yeah, it takes away, it detaches you from like the real emotions that are connected to whatever you have going on. So if you see somebody you care about, you don't treat them the same way. Everything, no matter what, if you have a job you care about, you don't treat it the same way. Yeah, it takes your emotions off. It's like something that kills like glue, kind of, you know.
Cocaine is, when you look at it from a fucking distance now, for 13 years for me. No, it's great when you're fucking getting your dick sucked and you're doing somersaults with the chick.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, when you're gambling, you're in Vegas, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you really look at the big picture, and when you figure out what you're trying to do as a human being, when you're doing cocaine, you're adding evil into your life. If you really, really, really think about it, it's a certain evil that you feel. That's why you're tormented. I'm not going to ever do that shit again. Then you quit for a week and you start again. Now you're in that vicious cycle. And it's tormenting you. And it tormented me for years. You know, like I told somebody the other day, listen, I quit 1,000 times. And finally, one day it stuck. Yeah. You know, you got to keep quitting. You got to keep quitting and telling yourself, I'm going to fucking quit. And then 3 days later, fuck it, I'll quit. I'll quit after Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Then 3 days later, I'll quit after Christmas. Yeah. I said it so many times that after one day, it fucking stuck. So I ended up becoming a comic, and I could put my emotion into my work. And years later, I could see the differences of who I was on tape. You know, I could feel it. So,
well, I think it's so painful for some people, you know, and some of us that have had childhood trauma, emotional trauma in our life. It's painful to stay attached to the world, to have your feelings stay attached to things. It's painful. And so I think that's probably, you know, there's some elements of cocaine when you're in college and shit where it's fun, when you're in your 20s where it's just a good time. But there's also, it starts to become that thing that makes you feel detached. It makes you, you know, it kind of like, it's like a fire extinguisher for the connection between you and things that you care about, you know, because when you have, you know, when you grow up having a lot of trauma or something, then it's scary to stay attached to things you care about because you feel like they're going to go or they're going to disappear. You don't even realize it in your head, but in your spirit's just so scared to stay attached to things that are good. And so cocaine comes along and it fucking puts a little wedge in between there. And it's almost like a little bit of relief, you know, but the long term, yeah, it's rocky, man.
Ever since I stopped doing coke, I realized I love my friends more. I love my wife more.
Amen.
I loved my cats more. I had a cat. I had 9 cats.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a cat named Sissy.
Like the man from St. Ives.
Sissy was a beautiful fucking cat.
Mm.
Sissy lived in my house
Oh.
for 5 years and never would have contact with me.
Oh, damn.
She would come 5 feet of me, and that was it.
Mm.
I stopped cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
A week later, Sissy was sitting on my lap.
Amen.
What does that fucking tell you? And we, you know, after that, we became tight till she died 3 years ago.
Wow.
It was just really weird. That's when I knew. I didn't know at the time when I first had her. I just thought she was skittish. My wife fed her. She liked my wife more. No, I quit doing coke, and a week later, she's sitting on my lap watching fucking TV. It's weird. Nashville, you like it?
Yeah, one thing that's nice. Well, first of all, you know, California was so shut down. You couldn't do nothing. I mean, you come to Nashville, you do whatever you want, dude. You know what I'm saying? You got people, you got incest, you got whatever you want going on over here. You know, you couldn't catch COVID if you was dating your fucking sister over here. You know, like they just don't have it. You know, because it's just not as, I don't know, they're just not as afraid over here. You know, people are just living their lives and shit's pretty normal. You got the jiu-jitsu gym is open.
How's jiu-jitsu going? I'm so fucking proud of you. Look at you. What school are you going to?
Let's go.
Which school are you going to? Give them
White belt.
What is it?
White belt. Oh, it's called Nashville MMA.
Okay. And what's the guy's name who runs it?
The guy's name over there named Chris. The guy's name over there, Mr. Hammonds. This other guy named Irv. This other guy named Itai. And this other guy named Andrew.
What's Chris's last name?
I don't know his last name.
I think he's friends with Eddie Bravo. I think that's the guy. But send him my love. How's jiu-jitsu working out for you?
I will. So many of the guys over there ask about you, man. It's good, man. I had to fight a child the other day, which was a little bit, you know, it's good to know you're not a pedophile, bro. That was one nice part about it. It was like, look, at no point during the thing was I like,
enjoying this.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy it. I was like, this is just technical. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel any like, hey, let's go another fucking, you know, put 9 minutes on the clock, you know? So that was good.